faith never contradicts God's determinate counsel for you. In other words, faith will never change the course that God has predestined for us. Our steps are ordered how? Our steps are ordered by God. How many days do you have to live? Do any of you know? God knows. It's already been determined. God knows the very day you're going to die. So faith doesn't change the determinate counsel of God. Faith changes our heart attitude as we perceive the goodness of God, as we begin to get glimpses of eternity. And as soon as we can begin to receive that, we can start resting, because it works from the other perspective too, man. Nothing is going to happen to you that God is not the author of. Amen? So faith in that begins to bring a rest and a trust. And there is no weapon formed against me that can prosper. The devil's not going to come up with any new weaponry that can bring you down if God's for you. Amen? But see, that's where faith goes. But we think faith is in the immediate contact with the devil. And man, I need faith now because the devil's coming. And I gotta come up with something that'll believe. If I believe that he's there on assignment from God, and that all things are going to work together for good, and that if I resist him through my worship and praise of God, and he will flee from me, faith is operating as God intended it. And we'll see then how it begins to express itself. I'm not saying we don't take the offensive. I'm saying it doesn't originate with us, and it doesn't have to include all of our comprehension of what's going on. God, why is this happening? It's happening. God's the author of it, and it's going to work for good and for the glory of God. Amen? And the good will be your maturity. The good will be the working of patience in your life. The good will be that endurance of patience that's manifesting, and the good will eventually be when the enemy flees from us and God is further glorified. But he's just as glorified in your patience and your endurance as he is in the flight of Satan. And faith believes that. And how many of you do a little more rejoicing when he finally flees and it's over than in the midst of it when character's being worked in your life? Amen? You got to learn. Faith doesn't have anything to do with the perceivable, because it's the what? Substance of things. And as you read Hebrews, a lot of people died in faith, not having received but in fact were eternally then recipients of that promise. But see, we don't like that kind of faith. We like the faith that makes things come out fairy book as we've already perceived them, planned it, anticipated it.